Viewers, the story that I'm going to tell you tonight will leave you feeling very uneasy. Not uneasy on account of those who feature in it, but viewers, uneasy over the prospects of Indian democracy. Tonight, two images collide, viewers, and they're on your screens. One from the Lok Sabha floor. The other of a book that, according to its own publisher and its author, was never published. First, the video. Let's speak about that. What you're seeing to the right of your screens, viewers, has been released by the government. It's CCTV from the Lok Sabha. And these visuals show opposition MPs forming what the BJP calls is a blockade around the Prime Minister's seat. Let's open that up. Full screen, if we can. Women MPs with banners. The aisle narrowed. Ministers pleading with folded hands. And you'll just see Ashwini Vaishnav and others moving towards this set of MPs. There you can see them. All the ministers are coming out one by one and saying, could you please let go, respect the decorum of the house. There is Giriraj Singh in the yellow jacket. He's being asked by some of his colleagues to stay back to avoid some sort of a confrontation which might turn unruly, because the lady MPs are looking for a fight. Between folded hands, viewers, ruling party MPs are telling these female MPs from the Congress, and you can see some of them there on your screens, and the India bloc, that this is not the way. The Prime Minister is about to come. You can't be picketing him, stopping him from coming into Parliament where he wants to answer on the vote of thanks motion on the President's speech. The Speaker, later citing credible inputs of a possible attempt to storm the Prime Minister's chair while the PM was in it, told the Prime Minister not to come to the House. But several MPs, Varsha Gaikwad among others, viewers, are there. The opposition says there was no such plan. That Jyotimani, Congress MP, Varsha Gaikwad, the Congress MP, all of these who were named, weren't about to do any of this. But the footage tells its own story. Second, viewers, let's come to the book. Rahul Gandhi sought to corner the government over Galwan by citing excerpts from 4 Stars of Destiny, a book that was written, according to him, by General Naravane. He insisted that the book exists. He held up a copy, and you can see him holding up that copy. He suggested either General Naravane or Penguin were lying when they said, viewers, or at least the publishers first said, that look, this book was never in print. Penguin India has said the book cited was not published. General Naravane publicly backed the publisher's version. He retweeted it. Viewers, the government has released 2 videos from Lok Sabha CCTVs. And these videos tell you the story of a lie, of a fiction that was turned into a fact by Rahul Gandhi. The same can be said, viewers, of a book. The book was, again, viewers, a book that was never available on any shelf of any bookseller. It remained with the publisher, yet Rahul Gandhi is masquerading with it, viewers. The video proof and the fact check has in one fell swoop destroyed the Congress narrative that Prime Minister was scared. They said Darr. And they released memes, viewers, damaging memes of the Prime Minister talking to the Lok Sabha MP, AI-generated videos where the Prime Minister is saying that, look, make up a story that I was being prevented from coming to the House, that there was a gherao or a blockade that was planned, and so on and so forth. That narrative that the Prime Minister was scared and running from a debate in the House today lies shattered at the altar of facts, because Rahul Gandhi has been passing off fiction as fact and disruption as disorder, as dissent. 8 MPs have been suspended because of this. 10 days of Parliament disrupted. Crores of public money are down the drain. You know how much it costs per minute, viewers. We've done the math here to run the House. But the irony is that there's even an attempt to pass a no-trust resolution against the Speaker who was trying to bring order to the House. Viewers, today the opposition says that the Speaker should be evicted, that he is the guilty party, that he is partisan, he's from the BJP's benches. But viewers, the videos and the fact check tell a very different story. This is a pattern under scrutiny tonight. A blockade that was disproved by video evidence and a book that is disputed and not published. Claims made inside Parliament that are contested outside it. Is Rahul Gandhi amplifying, viewers? And that's a direct and straight question. Fiction is fact. Is dissent being built on shaky foundations? Lies, let me be very, very direct with you. When the leader of the opposition raises national security in the House, the burden of accuracy is higher, not lower. If protest is premised on claims that do not withstand scrutiny, what exactly was Parliament stalled for, viewers, all these days? And should the money wasted be recovered from the Congress party? From perhaps even Rahul Gandhi's salary? Should Rahul Gandhi be apologizing? Viewers, these are fundamental questions. Because at the end of the day, disruption is being passed as dissent. And that is weakening democracy in this country, not strengthening it, viewers. And I want to ask some fundamental questions. And I want to begin with Nikhil Jain and Tariq Khan, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and of course Nikhil Jain, who's a political analyst sympathetic to the Congress point of view. Mr. Jain, what is going on here? What exactly is going on? A man has come out and said, Prime Minister ran from the debate. His sister comes out and says, Prime Minister Darr. The government said, look, if we had come to the House, this is what we would have been greeted by. The Prime Minister is not somebody who wants to get into so-called gutters and brawl with opposition MPs for a right that is conferred upon him by the Constitution. It's a duty. He's not doing any favors. So he wants to come and he wants to speak to the public. He wants to tell India's citizenry exactly what there is that he's doing, put his record out there, and he doesn't mind an honest debate. But how do you have a debate like this when someone is disrupting and turning disruption into a virtue? I mean, you're looking like liars.
Rahul, if you're now done with your speech, can I please respond to the questions that you've posed? Thank you. So, Rahul, what is happening right now is that the Prime Minister of the country is indeed running away from the Parliament. And let me list out why. In the President's address, national security was mentioned, which is why it was the business of the House to be talking about national security. Then Tejasvi Surya, BJP MP, talked about national security and how supposedly the Congress failed in it and how supposedly the Congress is an unpatriotic party, to which the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, tried responding by raising a very important question of national security. At first, he tries to quote from a book. When it is said that the book is supposedly not published or not publicly available, he quotes from a news article, which article is undisputedly published, but he was not allowed to speak. The leader of opposition stood on the floor of the House for 45 long minutes. He was not allowed to speak. Then what happens? Then Nishikant Dubey, a ruling party member, brings in a bunch of books, many of which were banned, reads from them, and character assassinates a former lady prime minister, among other taking potshots at other people. I don't remember the president's address talking about illicit affairs of women or character assassinating lady politicians, but nonetheless, Nishikant Dubey did that. He was allowed to do that, to which lady members of the opposition, members of parliament of the opposition, wanted to protest, as many times many members of the opposition across regimes, across different governments have done similar protests. In 2012 or 13, lady members of the BJP stood in front of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh while he was giving his motion of thanks. And what did Prime Minister Manmohan Singh? He maintained the dignity of his office and of the House. He continued with his speech. He realized that it is the right of the opposition to protest, to disrupt, yet he continued. Arun Jaitley famously said that disruption is a form of democracy, and I agree with him. The opposition has to do these things, but instead of talking about all these important issues, what does the BJP rather talk about? Whether the book is published or not, whether it is publicly available or not, whether there were pre-order copies or not. Are these the discussions that really matter to the nation, or how the government failed in responding to a national security situation?
I ask you a simple question tonight.
Yes.
The publishers have denied that the book was published. The author has denied that the book was published. What exactly is Rahul Gandhi holding up? Number one. Number two, most importantly, I mean, I've written a book. I know how the system works. I've been through all these loopholes, all these stages, verification, fact, this, that, vetting, and reviewing. So I know, and I've been with Penguin. I've been an author from their stable, and I know exactly their process. And I spoke to somebody there today to figure this out. And they said that the book was never published.
Rahul, all right, if the book was never published.
So what is Rahul Gandhi bringing out? If the book is not published, what is he basing it on? An unpublished memoir.
Rahul, what Rahul Gandhi, the leader of opposition, is basing it on is the Caravan article that reports excerpts from a book that was written. It may not be publicly available, but it was written. General Naravane has never disputed the contents as shared in the Caravan article.
Mr. Jain, 1 second. Viewers, just think about this. The first charge was that the Prime Minister ran away. There was never any attempt to intimidate him. This is all on record, by the way, by the Congress. It's a cooked-up story that there is even an AI-generated conversation between the Prime Minister and Om Birla saying manufacture some sort of a blockade. Here, viewers, and I want you to see those pictures. Can the director please put those pictures, because that is the essence of the story. Not Rahul Gandhi today swapping his constitution for this fake book. Another empty book. Another empty constitution gives way to another empty book.
Are you calling the Constitution an empty book?
They always say, viewers, don't judge a book by its cover. They always say this. What do we see in the middle? We see all of the Congress MPs standing there with this big little poster of theirs, surrounding the Prime Minister's chair, planning not to allow him to come and sit there. At least, viewers, the example that he quotes of Dr. Manmohan Singh was a protest that broke out in the well of the House. I'm not condoning it at all. But at least the man was allowed to take his place in the House.
Prime Minister never came to the Parliament. How would he take his place?
This is a bit like, viewers, because he didn't want to get into the gutters.
He didn't want to get into this gutter, but he wants to get into the gutter where he calls women as
because this is what you've reduced Indian democracy to. A performative sideshow. One second, Mr. Jain. A performative sideshow is what Indian democracy is being reduced to by the Congress party. And let me ask you a simple question.
Minister.
Can you answer a question, sir? Do you think that the Indian Express does good journalism, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Have you read their editorial?
I haven't.
Good. It just tells us, viewers, how ill-informed the people who represent the Congress party are. How absolutely buried under...
Honest.
How absolutely...
I am honest.
1 second, Nikhil Jain.
Rahul, I am honest. Just because I have not read a particular editorial piece doesn't mean I am ill-informed on the issue that we're talking about.
Thank you, sir, about the fact that you are honest about your ill-informed perspectives.
I don't have to read every single op-ed to be informed about that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That's a very honest admission that you have made. The only reason I have no sympathies for any newspaper viewers, and I don't give certificates. But I can tell you one thing, that the Congress loves the Express because they bring it around and quote from it. And what does the Express say? That Rahul Gandhi is being immature. It's their first lead edit yesterday. He's being immature. He is reducing democracy and parliament to a performance act, a grotesque, viewers, form of entertainment. There is a word for it, and it's called burlesque. That's what he's reduced parliament to, burlesque. A theatre of the absolute absurd. I want the BJP to first respond. Sanju Verma, Mr. Jain says that, look, at the end of the day, Mr. Naravane has never said he didn't write those words. Now, it's a different matter how enterprising journalists pulled the extract out and brought it into the public domain. But no one has said that those words were not written. So what's the problem? If I quote it, if I run around with a book that is not published, but I say that it has been published, what is the big deal? The fact is that the contents, that the caravan or whatever, the context is there, the excerpt is there, it's been written and so on and so forth, and we can extrapolate. So, would you like to answer that charge?
Thank you. On a lighter note, Rahul, I think your debates are a masterclass in vocabulary. So thanks for enriching our vocabulary. But on a more serious note, I just have this to say. Inflation, unemployment, Adani, Manipur, Pegasus, CAA, Waqf Amendment, Article 370, SIR, vote chori. In all these discussions, the BJP was ready to have a discussion with the opposition, but the leader of the opposition, and when even he was not LOP, Rahul Gandhi was an MP, he was MIA, missing in action. So my first point is, Rahul Gandhi believes in shoot and scoot. He's a juvenile politician. He's simply not equipped to handle the hurly-burly of India's political landscape. The second point I want to make is this. I never speak without endorsing what I say with facts. Rahul Gandhi's track record in Parliament over the years, he's a 5-time MP now. The average attendance of Rahul Gandhi is 37%, Rahul. The national average is 89.2. The number of debates by Rahul Gandhi are 8. The national average is 62.7. The number of questions raised by Rahul Gandhi, 89. The national average is 437. So the second point is, Rahul Gandhi, जो कहते हैं ना हिंदी में 9-2-11 वाली politics करते हैं. He comes, he makes reckless allegations, he vanishes. He does a vamoosing act. The third point I want to make is this. Who is the speaker? The speaker is the presiding officer of the House and has sweeping powers. Wide Article 93, 94, 96, 100, 110 of the Constitution, and has overriding powers under the 10th schedule of the Constitution.
Okay.
The speaker will decide whether to prorogue the House, whether to adjourn the House, whether to have a discussion on a certain topic or not. The discussion was on Rahul Gandhi having to submit motion of thanks. But Rahul Gandhi, as is typical of him, deviated from the issue at hand. Now today on Rahul Shiv Shankar's debate, if I start discussing Albert Einstein's theory of relativity or Isaac Newton's law of gravity, or start discussing how in 1879 Thomas Alva Edison discovered the first incandescent bulb, I will be doing a disservice to him and his audience. So the most important point is, why does Rahul Gandhi always deviate from the mudda? Mudda kya tha?
Okay.
Aap hamesha mudde ke bahar mat jaiye. And my final point is this. Penguin Random House has spoken. The 28th Army Chief of India, as in Manoj Mukund Naravane, has endorsed what Penguin Random House has spoken. Now, after that, what Jairam Ramesh, Pawan Khera, Supriya Shrinet, or the Darbari ecosystem says means zilch, Z-I-L-C-H.
Let me...
And to Nikhil, just one last point. I have this to say. In any democracy, you always say, oh, it is the BJP's duty to have the house running. Of course, we are the sattadhari party, but Hindi mein kahawat hai, Rahul, ताली दो हाथ से बजती है. You cannot, when I say you, the opposition cannot indulge in thuggery, in borderline hooliganism, and then expect that there will be mollycoddle. We will crack the whip. And I'm glad the speaker has cracked the whip on these guys.
Okay, but 1 second. Mr. Jaitley did say, and he's not here with us, and that's a tragedy, but he did say that disruption is also a form of democracy. We remember
disruption, not thuggery. Rahul, there's a difference between
one
disruption
second.
and thuggery.
You see, these words can be.
Let's not rationalize what happened in Parliament.
These words acquire an elastic meaning when not defined absolutely, and that's really where the problem is. But nonetheless, Dr. Ranganathan, I did ask the basic question on the BJP as to whether this excerpt exists or not. No one seems to have come out and said that the excerpt doesn't exist. But whether it does, whether it doesn't, whether Penguin actually did publish it, send these books out for review and to influencers as they do when it somehow got leaked before the process was completed, is now a bit immaterial, isn't it? The point is, we have lost 10 days, Dr. Ranganathan, 10 days over hot air, over fiction. And I'm using that word loosely because I can tonight.
No, absolutely. Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Very quickly, because time is of essence and two speakers, panelists haven't spoken yet, I like to bring forth 3 points. Number one, I think discussing about whether what was in the book or the extract that was published, whether it was true or not, whether responses should be garnered for that or not, for me, is totally irrelevant and superfluous. Because if we believe, and I don't know about what other panelists believe, that this country and this parliament has to be run through the rule of law, then for me, there is only one aspect that is the crux of the entire issue. And that aspect is that publication of this extract, narration of this extract, violates 3 public rules. Number 1, the Official Secrets Act. Number 2, the Army Act. And number 3, the Pension Clause of the CCS Act. Now, either you go by rules or you declare that, look, I'm above rules, I'm above laws. So it's fine. You have to choose. If you choose the former, then the rules are absolutely clear. If the book, which is unpublished, is currently being vetted by the Defense Ministry, it comes under these 3 acts. If the author is a retired general, so he is subject to pensions. If he is a military man, which of course he is, so he comes under Army Act. And whatever is written, if it's being vetted by the Defense Ministry, that comes under the OSA. These are rules. Now, of course, not only the magazine has violated it, but Rahul Gandhi has also violated it. That is why an FIR has been filed and investigations are going on. By the way, I'm hearing breaking news that the BJP has implored, saying that the FIR must be taken back because if Rahul Gandhi is arrested, BJP's best campaigner would be behind bars and BJP would lose 50 seats minimum. So, it is in BJP's interest to not arrest Rahul Gandhi. But I want to say 2 things out here because, look, what you said is right. The House, and by the way, anybody who says that it is all right for the House to be disrupted, whatever disruption might entail, is wrong. For me, the right to protest is not right to prevent. You cannot disrupt. You come to an august gathering and you put forth your point in a reasonably polite manner. So disrupting someone, haranguing someone, gherawing someone can happen in a university in Delhi, but not parliament in Delhi. Now, final point. Do I have a solution? Yes, I have 2 solutions. Number 1, that anybody who disrupts the House willingly has to be having his term curtailed by 4 months. And 3 such disruptions would mean that his term would be reduced by 1 year. So he would be able to loot his constituency 1 year less. And number 2, I think the time has come for the speaker to be elected from the opposition rather than from the ruling dispensation. That would assuage not just the opposition, and I don't think the ruling dispensation should mind that too much. So these are the two solutions very briefly.
Okay, well, we can. One second. I want to bring in Sushant Sareen. None of them have spoken, and the Samajwadi Party national spokesperson is also here with us. He has been also sharpening his knives for a while. But I want to bring in Sushant first. Sushant Sareen, look, we can go around the block tonight and we can talk about the Official Secrets Act and how it plays out and so on and so forth. But once somebody has come in and said, look, the book is not published, etc., please don't put out that stuff and all of that, are we now beginning to see the politicization of national security? And if that is really what is transpiring, then are there any red lines left? And is this desirable, Sushant Sareen?
Rahul, national security is a political issue. It should be politicized. I have no problems with that. But the debate on national security should be a constructive debate. It should be one which is not seeking to pull somebody down, but which is seeking to enhance national security. That is one. Secondly, I agree that, and I don't think just because Mr. Jaitley said disruption is a form of democracy, Mr. Jaitley was not an oracle. He was a very fine man and a good political leader. But I don't have to agree with him. And I don't think Parliament should be disrupted because that wastes the time of people and it prevents parliamentarians and representatives of the people from having proper debates. And this is what the irony is. Now, look, one, on a purely technical issue, the book has not been published, but I don't think anybody can deny that the book has been written. And the extract that Caravan published was published 2 years earlier by the print. So I don't know what the brouhaha is all about. Suddenly everybody wants to disrupt Parliament and this should not be allowed. But if I was the BJP, I would very much welcome a discussion on that particular extract because the BJP comes out smelling of roses. The government comes out smelling of roses. And if I was the opposition, I would actually be more interested in having a debate on the various trade deals and this business that are we buying Russian oil, are we not buying Russian oil, on a range of other issues, on the budget issues. I would rather that we discuss those in a calm, collected manner in which I can criticize the government, even if unfairly. So I would imagine that both sides are better served by having a calm debate rather than the kind of, what was it? You used the word burlesque?
Burlesque.
Those see Parliament. Okay. Then there is this whole, issue of this guy, Nikhil raised this issue that personally, I don't think personal life should be brought in. But I don't think the Congress has any entitlement to feel very hurt that somebody brought in the personal lives of a former Prime Minister. I think it was in bad taste. But the Congress is the last person to complain. They have done the same thing. Not just in the past, they've done it to the current Prime Minister. They have tried to, bring his personal life into the public domain and used rather terrible kind of, very vile kind of imagery to try and pull him down. So I don't think anybody is clean in this. But frankly speaking, this whole business that, the government, see, my problem is I can agree with the purity of the argument that, look, there are rules, you follow the rules. Yeah. That's all very, but there is a political side to it.
No, and that's somehow, fine. But
the impression which comes is that the government, by quoting technicalities, is running away from a debate when they don't need to.
Yeah, well, and let me just say, politics can't be also reduced to a zero-sum game. No, one second. I want to bring in SP spokesperson, then I have to move on to another story also. Everyone has had an opportunity to speak in turn. I've not asked anyone to speak twice. But I want to bring in Mr. Tariq Khan. Mr. Khan,
there is no discussion in your program. That means it's not democratic.
Okay, 1 second. Tariq Khan, I just want to ask you a simple question. It's a simple question because it has appeared now as a binary. It's black and white. Has Rahul Gandhi denied the opposition by peddling fiction as fact? Has he denied the opposition a credible this thing to take on the government. Credible issue.
Mr. Ranganathan said that many rules was broken by saying or putting this book in the parliament. Okay, that's all right. Now, the FIR is lodged, but FIR is not on Karwa magazine. The full article is in the Karwa magazine, and it's a matter of investigation that at that time Karwa magazine would have been known that this book is not published. Why the FIR is not on the FIR says that the PDF is in the market, so somebody has leaked the PDF of that book. So why not on that the person which have written that article, Sushant Singh, the name is not there? Why? That means that you are beating the bush around. This is simple. Now, Mr. Ranganathan should have responded on that. That why you are not doing the correct thing. आपने कहा FIR कर दी कुछ लोगों के खिलाफ ऐसे ही. अरे भाई and putting that article in the parliament. Why? You are saying that Rahul Gandhi is fully responsible and Karwa magazine is responsibility is zero, shun. Why there why this is it's so why there is this type of partiality with Rahul Gandhi? Okay. You should have said that there is a responsibility of Karwa magazine as well. They would have been known that this book is not published, and nowhere the name of Karwa magazine. So the point is being that FIR. Point number one. One more point. Now you said कि वो मोशन ऑफ थैंक्स पे बहुत से लोग आ गए. अरे भाई, आई थैंक्स कि उस वक्त जब 10 जून 2004 को मनमोहन सिंह मोशन ऑफ थैंक्स पे बोल रहे थे तो 11 MP पहुंच गए थे बीजेपी के उनके पास. लेकिन उस वक्त अच्छा था कि उनके पास जो दांत थे वो ऐसे नहीं थे कि वो मनमोहन सिंह साहब को काट लेते. तो आई थैंक वो 11 MP कि आपने उनके दांत से अपने मनमोहन सिंह साहब को काटा नहीं. आई थैंक फ्रॉम माय बॉटम ऑफ माय हार्ट उन 11 बीजेपी के एमपीओ को कि आपने दांत से मनमोहन सिंह को.
मुझे आपका इंटरवेंशन समझ ही नहीं आया. मैंने आपको एक सवाल पूछा कि क्या इज इट इम्पोर्टेंट दैट परहैप्स द समाजवादी पार्टी, द TMC, which by the way has not signed, viewers, the motion to bring no confidence against the speaker. It has decided not to because it has realized, one second, I need to move on. I'm sorry, I really need to move on. Because it has realized, viewers, other political parties have realized that Rahul Gandhi has denied them the opportunity in an election cycle to corner the government. And that's why today there is a degree of disaffection. Now, viewers, Rahul Gandhi has done a disservice not just to democracy, but also, viewers, by extension, to the opposition that speaks on our behalf. I also want to know what are the nitty-gritties of the deal. Because if you ask one minister, he says, ask the other. And if you ask the other minister, he says, you ask the other. At least in Parliament, they won't be able to do that because they'll be all together. But we never allowed them
this situation. We should ask President Donald Trump.
You never allowed them this situation. So, viewers, here it is. Here it is. But I'll move on now, viewers, because we need to look at another story.